I just got new glasses and the world is so much clearer now. Now that I can see, I feel like I have all the answers in the world!
Not so fast. Seeing doesn't mean that you have all of the answers at all. Have you ever thought about how perception might actually blind people to the truth? In fact, I'm reading this cool book called the Bhagavad Gita, and it's pretty nifty. It seems to dismiss the idea that sight leads to understanding.
Oh, I am familiar with that book, but I'm confused about the whole sight thing. Whatever do you mean?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about how perception functions to both reveal and hide the truth. In the Gita, the characters perceive the most when they cannot actually see and are blind to the truth when they can. Understanding can transcend sight, and in the case of Arjuna, it is non-sight or blindness that reveals true understanding.
How so? Well, in the beginning, young Eleanor, Arjuna tells Krishna what he is seeing and why that prevents him from continuing the battle. He says, I see men gathered here, eager to fight. I see my kinsmen gathered here wanting war. I see omens of chaos, Krishna. I see no good in killing my kinsmen in battle. As you can tell with his constant use of see, Arjuna is accepting the truth as being compromised of the people and objects that he physically sees.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Krishna essentially calls BS on Arjuna refusing to fight. He makes it clear that Arjuna's truth is fighting, which is the opposite of what Arjuna is claiming. Since Arjuna's reasoning is based on his inability to see the truth, this calls into question what it means to see. Krishna is telling him that sight alone doesn't constitute an understanding of the truth. Are you with me?
I think so.
In order to reveal his true form, aka the true nature of the universe, to Arjuna, Krishna gives him the divine eye, saying, But you cannot see me with your own eye. I will give you a divine eye to see the majesty of my discipline. After Arjuna has seen Krishna, he says, I am thrilled at seeing what has not been seen before. Arjuna even admits that he has now perceived something that he was blind to in the past. This is interesting, because the divine eye, though it provides him with the ability to see, isn't his own. When looking out of it, Arjuna isn't seen from his own perspective. He gives up his power over his own perception in order to see the truth. And isn't that a type of blindness?
I don't understand.
Think of it this way. Arjuna giving up his own perception would be kind of like if you gave me your glasses right now. You wouldn't be able to perceive anything. You would have to rely on someone else seeing it for you and passing along the information. Like Arjuna has to rely on the divine eye. At the end of the day, neither you nor Arjuna would be seeing with your own eyes.
Oh, I see what you mean. But that seems like it would be a bad thing.
Only Arjuna discovers truth in this state. This tells us that blindness can sometimes reveal more truth than perception. This is honestly kind of unsettling, seeing that we rely on what we perceive to tell us what is true and what isn't most of the time. And it isn't just the Gita that talks about this. Are you familiar with the film All About My Mother by Amal Duvar?
Yeah. Yeah, great film. Nuns.
Well, have you noticed how the characters' true natures are sometimes obscured by how one might perceive them? For example, Rosa, the seemingly innocent nun, is actually pregnant. She appears to be the epitome of innocence when you first see her, but underneath of that, she's hiding a whole different side to her. Who would have known by simply looking at her that she has been seduced and impregnated by the notorious Lola? Agrado is another good example. She appears to be feminine and is probably the most sexualized female character in the movie, but yet she is biologically a man. By just seeing these characters, one might assume the complete opposite of how they actually are.
Wow, that's really interesting. So then is perception completely unreliable?
I'm not entirely sure. The only way to find out is to continue exploring different texts and points of views. I'll let you know when I have a better understanding of the subject. Who knows? I might even write an essay looking at perception from another angle that may or may not be finished at 2:30 on February 26th.